Your brain doesn't value a reward simply because it's bigger. It can value a smaller reward more when it's available right now. That's called temporal discounting, and it's one reason you can choose 20 minutes of scrolling over an hour of work, even when you know the work matters far more. Which means something uncomfortable. You may not keep breaking promises to yourself because you're lazy, weak, or lacking discipline. You keep doing it because immediate rewards carry more weight than future ones. Tonight, you genuinely mean it. Tomorrow, I'll wake up early and exercise. But tomorrow morning, the reward for exercising is still somewhere in the future. The reward for staying in bed is available now. Your brain doesn't need to believe your goal is worthless. It only needs the immediate option to feel more valuable. And that's where the problem begins. You call yourself lazy, undisciplined, unfocused. Today we're going to take apart that process. Try this tomorrow. Choose one behavior you've been postponing. Before you go to sleep, make 3 decisions. When will I do it? Where will I do it? What is the smallest version I'll complete? Then attach an immediate reward to finishing it. You need to give yourself something rewarding in the present. Instead of, I need to finish this report because it will help my career. Give yourself a closer target. By 10 a.m., I'll finish the first 3 sections. Now the brain has something immediate to work toward. You can see progress. You can feel completion. And that small sense of completion is available today, not 6 months from now. But there's another problem. Even when you know exactly what matters, your brain still has to decide what deserves your attention. Your brain can start treating repeated decisions as habits, even when you still feel like you're consciously choosing. This is one reason familiar choices require less conscious effort than unfamiliar ones. And this matters more at work than you might realize. Every day you make hundreds of small choices. Which email should I answer? Should I check Teams? Should I finish this report or deal with the new request? Should I start the presentation now or after lunch? Most of these decisions feel harmless. That's where this changes the picture. Your problem may not be that you make bad decisions. You may be making too many decisions that never needed to be made. The more often you decide what to do in the moment, the more opportunities you create to choose whatever feels easiest, newest, or most urgent. And that's how a full morning can disappear into emails, messages, meetings, and small requests. While the one task that actually required your concentration keeps getting pushed back. So how do you make decisions more effectively? Decide your first important task before the competing decisions arrive. Before opening email or Teams, choose one specific outcome, not work on the client proposal. Instead, finish the first 3 slides before 10 a.m. Then open the presentation and start there. Don't check email in between. Don't decide what to work on next. You've already made that decision. This works because you're moving the choice away from the moment when dozens of new demands are competing for your attention. Instead of deciding what deserves your attention every few minutes, you decide once, then protect that decision. Otherwise, the next email becomes the next task, the next message becomes the next interruption, and your priorities keep changing throughout the morning. And that leads to an even bigger problem. What if your environment is making some of those decisions for you before you even realize you're making them? Your brain can start preparing you for a behavior before you consciously decide to do it. That's why you can sit at your desk intending to work on a report and suddenly feel the urge to check your email. Your brain has learned that this situation usually comes before checking email. This is where most people misread what's happening. Sometimes the urge isn't coming from what you want to do. It's coming from what your brain has learned to expect. Think about your normal sequence. Laptop opens, inbox appears, you check it, Teams appears, you respond, then another message arrives, and you've switched tasks before you've even started the work you plan to do. You may feel like you're making these choices every time, but your brain has already learned the sequence. So how do you break it? The effective practical step is to change what your brain encounters first. If your priority is the report, don't open email first. Before you finish work today, leave the report open at the exact point where you need to continue. Tomorrow, when you start, the first thing you see is the work. Keep the notifications closed until that first focused block is finished. Instead of going to your inbox, sit down and open the report first. Let the first action of your workday lead into the work that actually matters, because your brain strengthens associations through repetition. The more often a situation is followed by a behavior, the easier that behavior becomes to trigger. So you're not trying to remember, don't check email, don't check email. You're giving your brain a different sequence to learn. But there's a problem. Some cues don't just remind your brain of a behavior, they predict a reward. And when you don't know exactly when that reward will appear, your brain can become even harder to pull away. Your brain can learn to repeat a behavior even when the reward appears only occasionally. That's called variable reinforcement. And it explains something strange about notifications. You check once, nothing important. You check again, nothing. Then suddenly there's a message you've been waiting for. That one rewarding moment teaches your brain. Check again. You don't know when the next important message will appear, and that's exactly what keeps the behavior going. That's a very different explanation. You don't need to receive a reward every time for your brain to keep looking for it. Uncertainty can become part of the attraction. That's why you can open your inbox 5 minutes after checking it. Even when you know there's probably nothing new, you're not looking because you expect a reward. You're checking because you can't be sure there isn't one. And that distinction matters. Because telling yourself, I'll just use more self-control, doesn't remove the uncertainty. The next notification could still be important. The next message could still matter. So how do you make the behavior less compelling? Make the reward predictable. Of checking email whenever you feel the urge, decide when you'll check it. For example, 9:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., 3:30 p.m. Outside those times, email stays closed. Now your brain doesn't have to keep asking, could something important have arrived? It already knows when you'll look. And remove the signals that keep restarting the question. Turn off email notifications. Remove the unread badge. Keep Teams closed during focused work. You're not trying to convince yourself that email isn't rewarding. You're removing the uncertainty that keeps making you check for the reward. And there's another important piece. If you notice that the urge becomes strongest when a difficult task is in front of you, the problem may no longer be the notification. Your brain may have learned to use checking as a quick escape from effort. And that leads to a completely different question. Why can a task feel exhausting before you've even started it? The more decisions a task contains, the harder your brain can make it feel to start. That's why a 2-hour task with a clear first step can feel easier than a 30-minute task where you don't know where to begin. And this explains something you may have blamed yourself for. You have a client presentation to finish. You know it matters, you have enough time, but you keep postponing it. You open the file and immediately face 10 unanswered questions. What should the presentation say? Which data matters? How should I structure it? What belongs on the first slide? What should I leave out? Work hasn't even started, but your brain is already facing a series of decisions. So the task feels heavy. There's a mechanism behind that reaction. Sometimes procrastination isn't a lack of motivation. It's what happens when the brain can't see a clear path into the task. So how do you make the task easier to start? Remove the first decision before you begin. Before you finish work today, write down tomorrow's first action. Not, work on the presentation. Write, tomorrow, write the one sentence that explains what this presentation needs to prove. That's it. When you sit down tomorrow, you don't have to decide where to begin. You already know. And once that first decision is made, the next one becomes easier to see. You're not making the entire task easier. You're making the entrance into the task clearer. And that matters because your brain no longer has to solve, where do I start, before it can even begin the work. But there's something even stranger. Sometimes the first step is completely clear, and you still can't make yourself take it. That takes us to the next mechanism. Here's something most people never realize. Your brain starts predicting the experience of a task before you actually do it. It doesn't wait for the work to begin. It uses your previous experiences to predict how difficult, frustrating, or rewarding the next attempt is likely to feel. And that prediction can influence whether you start at all. That's why you can know exactly what to do, have enough time, and still feel a strong urge to do something else. Your brain may already be expecting the work to feel unpleasant. Think about a report that was painful to write last time. You remember the endless edits, the difficult decisions, the mental fatigue. So when you open a similar report today, your brain doesn't see only the document. It also predicts the experience that comes with it. This gives you a practical place to intervene. You may not be avoiding the task. You may be avoiding the experience you expect the task to create. That's why checking email can suddenly feel attractive. Not because email is more important, because your brain already knows what checking email feels like. Familiar. It's easy, and it gives you an immediate change in experience. So how do you change a prediction your brain has already learned? Give it a different experience. Don't tell yourself, I have to finish this report. Give yourself 10 minutes. Open the document. Work on the exact first step you already identified. Then stop and notice what actually happened. Maybe it was difficult. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe you made more progress than you expected. That experience becomes new information for the brain. You're teaching it. Starting this task doesn't automatically mean I'm trapped in it for hours. And repeated experiences can change future predictions. You're not trying to convince yourself that difficult work feels good. You're giving your brain evidence that its old prediction isn't always accurate. But even when you successfully start and stop, an unfinished task can continue occupying your mind long after you leave it. So don't simply tell yourself, I'll remember to finish it tomorrow. Write down the exact next action and when you'll do it. For example, tomorrow at 9 a.m., I'll finish the conclusion of the report. This gives the unfinished task a clear next step, instead of leaving your brain to keep rehearsing it. And that's the bigger lesson. Your brain responds to what it has learned to expect. It learns from cues, rewards, effort, and experience. And what it learns can change. So when you struggle to do important work, don't immediately ask, what's wrong with me? Ask, what is my brain responding to? Then change the cue, the reward, the prediction, or the next action. You don't need a different brain to work differently. You need to give your existing brain a different pattern to learn.